Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio, back to work. It's Monday morning. Chiefs were definitely doing all the work in San Francisco yesterday. It was an easy win, in my opinion. I'll let you go first and give me your thoughts, sir.
You're not going to be in favor of this. Yeah, the Chiefs owned the game. They were in charge the entire way, never really, even though they were behind 3-0, it was never really in doubt. This is a fractured San Francisco team.
Oh, yeah.
They have nobody, folks, nobody. Deebo Samuel couldn't play, he's sick. Their top receiver, Ayuk, gets knocked out of there with an injury and don't even have Christian McCaffrey for the entire season. There were so many others, and their offensive line had no answer to the Kansas City charging pressure defense. Case in point is Brock Purdy only completed 17 passes. I think he threw 31, if I remember correctly, but 17 passes. But he was under siege all day long. He misfired on a couple of passes because there's the big Chiefs defense is right there in front of him. And they simply could not do anything. This was, I was kind of disappointed because I expected a better game than this from San Francisco, but when you take a look at all the injuries they have, it just is not possible to put together a competitive team. They're 3-4 on the year. They're under 500, and the Chiefs, of course, are 6-0. Mahomes didn't really have a great day. He threw for only 154 yards. That's all. He didn't have to. He just gives the ball to their offense, let the defense come on and do their thing, and you're going to win 28-18 the way they did.
And I thought it was interesting because you guys in Ned Talk are rarely correct, but
we're right on.
Your game plan scenarios were right on the money. One of you guys picked Mr. Hunt to have a day, and he did. I think you picked Karlaftis and Jones to have a day, and it was more Karlaftis yesterday, but that was just because they had like 3 guys on Jones all day. I mean, there are certain times where he just had to fall on guys to break through the line.
Well, that's exactly right.
They were throwing everything they could at him, and also Kelsey too. I mean, they were triple teaming him sometimes. But I'm always happy my guys win first and foremost. The competitive person in me kind of wishes we would have had a different team to play. I think it would have been a different scenario. But, yeah, I mean, it was nice, especially since I had such a busy weekend, to cap it off with just such an easy win, just to relax and watch my team do it and go through the motions. And my only fear is that I hope they're not just going through the motions, preparing for either the Buccaneers or the Bills down the road. We got to take care of the Raiders in Vegas next week.
The Raiders are coming up, and the Raiders aren't very good. They've been beaten by everybody, beaten yesterday. They simply don't have the team concept. But they'll be ready when Kansas City comes into Vegas to play. But you know what? So will Kansas City, because the fans will be out there. It'll be more of a Chiefs crowd than it is a Raiders crowd. It was a Chiefs crowd yesterday in San Francisco. You could hear the cheers going on in the background. They have a terrific following. They're a good team. Kansas City's a very good team. Are they meritorious in regards to their record in 6-0? Well, they've won the game so far. Are they going to go undefeated? Probably not. But they're going to have a good record. They're going to dominate in the AFC West. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're a good, solid football team.
Only undefeated team in the NFL right now, but watching the NFC battle between the Detroit Lions and Minnesota Vikings, that kind of gives me hopefully a look into the future as to what opponent we might be facing.
31-29 in a terrific football game in Minnesota, and the Detroit Lions get in there and win that thing. I got a big kick out of watching the end of the game, and I thought, hey, that referee blew the final call. That game should have been over before it was, but I gave the Vikings one final shot from 60 yards out or something like that. I don't know what the justification in that was, but I didn't really feel that was correct.
Basically, what they said is that as long as they're set, and they did get set, they had just too many guys in the backfield, so that wouldn't be a runoff rule. But at that point, I mean, Detroit almost screwed it up. I mean, they were taking care, and then Minnesota came out and smacked them real quick, and that almost knocked them on their feet.
Well, that call did not sit well with the Lions coaching staff.
Yeah.
The fact the defensive coach was right out there on the field in the face of the officials, but that's a lame call. You didn't run off the tail. Anyways, beside the point, they did get the win, and Detroit's a very good football team. Are they in the same league with the Chiefs? Probably not, but they did play earlier in exhibition and won in exhibition, but exhibition games are really just for discussion. They don't mean anything.
So Major League Baseball got what they wanted. L.A. and New York in the series.
You know, when I was a kid growing up, Mike, it was always, it wasn't literally the case, but it always seemed like it was always the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Yankees, they were always playing in the World Series. And it was kind of an annual ritual. They were the best teams in baseball. Well, we're back to the Dodgers and the Yankees again. The Mets didn't go down without making noise. They went down swinging. The final score was 10-5 last night. Dodgers win it. But how about former Springfield Cardinal Tommy Edman? He had 4 RBIs last night, 2-run homer in the big 4th inning. That's when the Dodgers broke it open with 4 runs, and a really, really solid effort by L.A. Used 7 pitchers. This was the game where they had the bullpen by committee, and they brought in these pitchers, and, I mean, they shut them down. They shut down the New York Mets for a while. Now, the Mets have a lot of firepower on their team. They'll probably be back next year, assuming everything remains intact, which is not necessarily going to be the case. But 10-5, Dodgers win. Dodgers and the Yankees. World Series begins on Friday at Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles.
Now it's going to come down to which team spent the most money on their team, because that's exactly what we got in that series, which starts this week. So, had a pretty interesting little race there in Sin City this weekend, didn't we?
How about Joey Logano? Here's a guy who has risen from the ashes, to use the rather poetic expression. He's a guy who, at this time last week, was eliminated from the championship hunt. He's out of it. He didn't run well at the Charlotte Roval, and he's been eliminated. But wait, one of the cars was disqualified, and Logano got back in. He lives. And yesterday, he wins the race in Las Vegas, which was the point-something 400, South Point 400, Las Vegas Speedway. And by winning, he qualifies now for the championship race. Now, the championship race is 4 drivers. They're not the only 4 driving. Everybody's out driving. But they're the top 4 point getters. And Logano, with that win yesterday, solidified. Here he is, eliminated last week, and now he's going to run for the championship. It's a magic story, but more power to him. Joey Logano's been around before, and an old veteran of the NASCAR circuit.
Man, it's crazy to see that come down in the wire. Last but not least, had some pretty interesting college football games on Saturday, didn't we?
Missouri State comes away with a homecoming win, 46-21 over Indiana State. Indiana State made a bit of a charge down the stretch, but that's when the Bears really turned it on, and they're a very good football team, they being the Bears. A quick strike, Jacob Clark, their quarterback, is nothing short of outstanding. He has great receivers, really good running, and a very good football team. Now they have Northern Iowa to play this week, and Northern Iowa has faltered badly. So the Bears going to Cedar Falls could have a big chance to win. It doesn't do them any good for postseason. They're not allowed to play postseason. The NCAA says, what's this? You're going to another conference? You're going to sit on your behinds for the postseason. That's okay. We'll take that. And they will have to next year, too, when they join the conference. So it's 2 years of...
Oh, that sucks.
It's purgatory.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're paying the price for it.
At least they're getting used to the competition, though.
That they will. There's no question about that. So the Bears get a win on homecoming, and so does Mizzou. Mizzou knocked off Auburn 21-17, coming from 14 points down. And Missouri gets the homecoming win 21-17. That's pretty doggone good. Missouri Tigers are a good team. We'll find out how good this weekend.
You had to talk Josh off the ledge yesterday, didn't you? I heard that, too.
Here, Bama loses the game to Tennessee. I think it was maybe 21-17 or something like that. But Bama plays Mizzou.
You guys talk about that injury fake situation, Alabama kid falling down?
That's allegedly a cramp.
Did you bring that up yesterday?
No, did not.
You guys are getting too safe in that room. I need to come in and guest spot and start poking some bears while I'm there. Last but not least, Ned, you have a great day, and I will see you on Tuesday, sir.